Elena sat by the window, her fingers lightly tracing the rim of her coffee cup as rain pattered against the glass. So the cafe, with its soft lighting and distant chatter, felt like a safe bubble away from the world. Despite the cozy warmth around her, a storm brewed in her heart. It had been years since she had last seen him. Daniel, the name still sent a shiver through her. They met during their university years when Elena was still wide-eyed and full of dreams. Daniel was different from anyone she had known, intense, passionate, and mysterious. He had a way of looking at her that made her feel seen, truly seen. It wasn't long before they fell in love. Their relationship, however, had been a whirlwind, fierce and consuming. Eventually it burned out, leaving them both scorched. They parted ways, the weight of their unspoken words too heavy to bear. But life had a funny way of circling back to the things left unfinished. A week ago, Elena received a message from Daniel. He was back in town. Would she meet him for coffee? She hesitated at first, unsure if the wounds had fully healed. Yet something in her heart pushed her to say yes. Now, as she waited in that familiar cafe, Elena questioned her decision. Would he be the same? Would she? The door chimed softly as it opened. Elena's breath caught in her throat. There he was. Daniel stood in the doorway, slightly older, more refined, but still carrying that same quiet intensity in his eyes. As their eyes met, a flood of emotions rushed through her. Nostalgia, fear, excitement, everything tangled into a knot that tightened in her chest. Daniel walked over, his lips curving into a soft, uncertain smile. Elena, he said, his voice as familiar as it was distant. Daniel, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. They sat together in silence for a moment, the weight of their shared history hanging in the air. Finally, Daniel broke the quiet. I've thought about you, he admitted, his eyes searching hers. I've wondered if we made a mistake. Elena's heart skipped a beat. She had wondered the same thing more times than she could count. But now, sitting across from him, she realized that the years had changed them both. The fire that once consumed them had tempered, but it hadn't extinguished. I don't know, Elena said softly, her fingers now wrapped around her coffee cup for comfort. But maybe we could start over, this time slower. Daniel smiled, a genuine, hopeful smile. I'd like that, he said. And with that, the storm within Elena began to calm. Maybe love wasn't about the intensity of the flame, but learning how to keep it alive, gently and patiently. For the first